We don't have any family locally here. You know, there's only 3 of us. Coming to a new town, it's hard to find community.
There was a Jewish Renaissance happening in Boston, and there was just an energy in the community that was so inspiring to me, and I said, I want to be part of that. I want my future family to be part of that.
All of these individual communities have really expanded to be our family here.
The water tunnels.
I don't know if you remember this, we would do Joy Shabbat, it was called, at senior homes in the community, and celebrate Shabbat with the residents there and sing the blessings and Jewish songs. Combined Jewish Philanthropies, CJP really was the catalyst of our Jewish involvement in the Boston community.
And whether it be going to temple and knowing all the people there, or through Ben's schooling at Rashi.
I had the opportunity to take a Hebrew College Parenting Through a Jewish Lens class, and I met a lot of lifelong friends there. The other thing I'm extremely grateful to Hebrew College about is our phenomenal Rabbi Philip Sherman at Temple Beth Elohim.
There's a lot of crossover between all these organizations.
People who have it in their heart and soul to want to do good and make the world a better place, and that's why we are so invested in Jewish education.
My family helped establish a Reform synagogue in Buffalo, New York, and my grandmother ran the preschool as she was an educator, and she helped develop the Holocaust curriculum.
Mary and Uncle Arnold were the only 2 brothers who survived. My grandfather, Murray Bornstein, survived the Holocaust with the help of neighbors. He really wanted to impress upon us the importance of finding the goodness in people around us.
And here he is sharing a book.
To be born into a family of survivors and proud Jewish heritage really just makes me want to carry on their legacy. I think something that was really powerful from my time at Rashi was the emphasis on community service and tikkun olam in particular, which means repairing the world. Although Ben had to watch what he would drink and eat. I was born with severe food allergies. I decided that I was going to write a children's book centered around a boy named Ben, just like me, with food allergies and around the holiday of Passover.
The Haroset was young.
It's titled No Nuts in the Haroset. I'm selling some copies of the book, and all of the proceeds are going to FALSI, which is the Food Allergy Science Initiative.
I'm proud of the strong Jewish identity that my son has.
Good job, Ben.
It's so joyful. And Vador, from generation to generation.
What is it that we want to ensure, for the future generations? And not just what my grandparents passed along to my parents to me, but really as a Jewish people, the generations of Jewish peoplehood.
I'm certain that my son will carry forward everything he has learned from this community.
For our final award this evening, it's a privilege to invite the former head of CJP and forever leader in this community, Barry Schrage, to escort the Gelber family to the bima. Helene, Seth, Benjamin, I'm honored to present you with our Lador Vador Award this evening. Reflecting on the ripples of your family's influence throughout our community, I have been struck by the deep current of gratitude coupled with generosity that runs through your lives. Your intuitive response to the gifts you've received is to pass them on to others. As Lewis Hyde writes in his essay, "The Gift Must Always Move," quote, "If we think of the gift as a constantly flowing river, we treat it correctly when we become a channel for its current." Helene, your story embodies this wisdom powerfully. Your first day of work at CJP, I understand, was September 12th, 2001. Think about that. And the warmth and compassion that you experienced there in that dark time inspired you to work to cultivate those same qualities throughout our community. When you took Ikarim, as we heard, with Hebrew College, you were so moved by the experience that it helped inspire your decision to send Benjamin to Rashi. Through Benjamin's connection to Rashi, your entire family strengthened your connection to Israel and to Jewish learning, peoplehood, and practice. When you found a spiritual home at Temple Beth Elohim, you didn't simply enjoy that sense of belonging, you wanted to help build it for others. And so you stepped into leadership and chaired the search committee that brought beloved Hebrew College alum Rabbi Philip Sherman to the community. Even when people talk about you as a Mahjong teacher, for those who don't know, she's basically a local legend in this regard. They talk about your capacity to make others feel welcome, comfortable, and connected. There's something so profound and beautiful in this pattern. Each meaningful experience in your lives becomes the seed for another act of generosity. Mitzvah goreret mitzvah. One mitzvah leads to another. The roots of that pattern run deep in your family, coming from a family of survivors, growing up with a grandfather whose survival depended on the kindness of neighbors. You were taught from a young age to look for goodness in other people. And more than that, you learned to call it forth. Seth, that same devotion to legacy runs through your story as well. The example set by your parents and grandparents in Buffalo, and I feel a kinship because I grew up in Rochester, New York, so building Jewish community, teaching young children, investing in education, planted in you a profound commitment to continuity, and you understood that legacy is only learned by example. You wanted Benjamin not simply to be taught about these values, but to witness them being lived in your home and in your lives. And Benjamin, you're already making this inheritance your own through your acts of chesed and tikkun olam, through your service as a youth trustee on the Board of Jewish Family Service of Metro West, through the book you wrote and published to help kids with serious food allergies navigate Pesach traditions, and the proceeds you chose to donate. You're asking, how can your experiences help others? And you're finding your own answers to those questions. This is an expression of Lador Vador in its deepest and truest form. Judaism teaches us that our lives are part of a story that is much larger, much older, much deeper, and more enduring than our own. May your family continue to show us all what it looks like to receive that inheritance with gratitude, to deepen it with intention, and to pass it on with love. Thank you, and Mazal Tov.